Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
I love anime English dubs. I actually prefer them over the original Japanese version if the dub's good enough. Like many people, my first introduction into anime was Cartoon Network's Saturday night segment, Toonami. There, I watched my first anime ever, Zatch Bell, which was this really cool anime where these demon children with cool powers would come to Earth, find a human partner, and battle others of their kind. This, along with the other anime shown on Toonami, was dubbed, and from what I remember was mostly dubbed by Viz Media. What I want to discuss today is the evolution of dubbing in anime. The first anime dubbed, how I grew up with dubs, where it is today, and where I think dubs will be heading in the future. So, what is a dub? Well, a dub is just translating a property into a different language. I'm mainly focusing on Japanese anime being translated to English here in the West. When something is being dubbed, there's usually some liberties that are sometimes taken to have the translation make more sense to English speakers, as well as sometimes westernizing some lines so that more direct translations of the original won't go over the heads of anyone who isn't familiar with the Japanese culture. More on this later though. The first anime to get a dub was Tetsujin 28 Go, known in English as Jignator, which started airing October 20th, 1963 in Japan on Fuji TV, and then the dub started airing in 1964 in the United States. Now, it's no secret that there weren't really any good dubs of anime before the 90s. Some dubs during that time were too inaccurate with their translation, or the dub was just straight up cringe with bad performances.
Hey, get off me! You have no right!
Quiet, Mr. Mouserus.
But one day, that all changed. I know I'm doing a major time jump talking about the first anime that came out in the 60s and then just going straight into the 90s with Cowboy Bebop, but I don't have much to say about the dubbed anime in the 30-year time frame. Dubbed anime back then were so bad that they were practically unwatchable. The 90s is when we started getting watchable dubs. If you watch anime dubbed, then you've come across the statement that Cowboy Bebop has one of the best dubs of all time. And you know what? They're right. Cowboy Bebop was one of the first animes to ever have a dub not only be watchable, but actually be a great alternative from the original. Now, I personally haven't watched much of the original Cowboy Bebop sub. I've just seen comparison videos, but man, it's hard to disagree with people that say Cowboy Bebop's dub is better than the original when the main cast sounds this good.
Look at my eyes, Faye. One of them is a fake because I lost it in an accident. Since then, I've been seeing the past in one eye and the present in the other. So I thought I could only see patches of reality, never the whole picture.
Also in the 90s, there was some great dubbing work done by Disney with Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli films. Having Batman and Shia LaBeouf play roles in Miyazaki films is a surprising pick, but they did a really good job in Howl's Moving Castle and Valley of the Wind. Here's the truth. That's why companies like Funimation, Viz Media, and Sentai Filmworks also distribute the Blu-rays, stream the anime on their platform, as well as subbing the original anime. In my search of info for this video, I found an interesting article by the Anime News Network that had an article on 7 distributing anime companies that have since gone out of business. Bandai Visual USA, Samora Entertainment, Bandai Entertainment, Tokyo Pop, Geneon Entertainment, and 4Kids. Sorry, anytime I remember 4Kids, I die a little on the inside. These companies have had distributing rights to some pretty popular animes such as Gurren Lagann, Gundam, and the one that will never die, One Piece. But let's talk about Funimation. For one reason or the other, a lot of these companies just unfortunately went out of business because they weren't able to distribute well, or the financial crisis. As the title suggests, with 4Kids, which obviously means 4 kids, that means any show that comes by them, they have to make it suitable for kids. And One Piece isn't really the best work to be showing to kids. So when 4Kids got the rights to the anime, they did some major censoring, which fans were not happy with. Thank God the property is now in a better home now. People cheered when Funimation got the rights for One Piece. Actually, out of all the companies that distribute and dub anime, Funimation has probably become the most popular, and for good reasons. They were a company that popped up in the early 1990s and was widely known for dubbing Dragon Ball Z. But since then, and over the years, they've gained the license of several anime, a lot being from the companies I just mentioned that went out of business. Funimation has produced some amazing dubs for anime such as Fullmetal Alchemist, Soul Eater, Ouran High School Host Club, and has recently done a phenomenal job of dubbing My Hero Academia. Funimation has been around for a while now, being located in Flower Mound, Texas, where the company originated. Most dubs are done almost exclusively in Texas, LA, and sometimes New York. Interestingly, Toronto, Canada used to be a host of dubbing anime. Hell, actually, they even did Death Note there.
Follow the teachings of God and receive his blessings, and so it shall be, that the seas will again become bountiful, and the raging storms will subside. That's not even close to the right place, is it? Line 1 in the books!
But recently, there's been no dubs coming from Canada. Funimation and the popular streaming site Crunchyroll have done a joint company partnership. This basically means they're now the overlords of distributing anime. In all honesty though, I can't see a smaller company getting any foot in the door for distributing when they'll just get knocked down by this joint partnership. The simplest way to explain their joint partnership is licensed anime by both companies have basically merged their own libraries. Crunchyroll will provide the subbed, and Funimation will provide the dubs. This is actually pretty cool since it gets more anime out to the masses. Hey, Funimation! Crunchyroll has a really cute girl mascot. You ever gonna like create a mascot of your own? You know, us freaks kind of want to make some questionable fan art if we could. You gonna work on that mascot anytime soon? Funimation more often than not puts out great dubs, but I'll come back to Funimation when I talk about the future of dubbing. For them, I'll leave off on the recent news that Funimation has been bought out by
chosen one!
On the other side of quality, we have a distributing company, Sentai Filmworks. I'm not going to get too much into this company. I mainly want to use them as a jumping point into a different, bigger topic. Sentai Filmworks used to produce dubs, however, they were pretty low quality. I hear they are doing the dub for the new game, No Life Zero movie, but I don't know how much they've improved since the days of their dubs for the world God only knows. With Sentai Filmworks dubs, I noticed something firsthand though, and it was lines like these in their dubs.
ミオ様はお金持ちだと思ったら本当は貧乏だったんですね。
自分
I thought that Miss Mio was one of the richest girls in Japan, but she's actually poor as an American.
I think I was either 12 or 13 when I first watched The World God Only Knows, but when I watched it and I saw this line, I kind of figured that that wasn't the exact translation. I mostly just shrugged it off. But as I watched more of Sentai Filmworks dubs, I noticed more and more of these liberties being taken with their scripts. It wasn't just Sentai Filmworks either. Eventually I noticed liberties being taken in dubs by Funimation as well. So here's a question. Is it okay to take translation liberties in your dubs? There's actually been a few controversies involving this topic. Here's a line from Funimation's dub for Prison School.
からタメ口聞いてるけどさ、私2年だから目上には敬語使いなさいよ。
うるさい。
Fonzarelli, have you got a stick up your ass? Or are you one of those dumbass Gamergate creep shows?
Yeah, I don't even know if most anime fans know or even give a shit about the Gamergate situation. Whoever wrote that line got to push their agenda. My 2 cents on the issue is this. I don't think dubbing companies should ever insert their political views in their dubs. But if you're dubbing an anime that's a comedy or has a comedic moment, then if you think certain changes that will be funnier for Western audiences will make a scene or anime better, then I would like to think that's fine. I mean, dubs are made for Western audiences, and like I said before, certain elements in anime might go over Westerners' heads because they're not familiar with Japanese culture. A while ago, there was an anime that got its whole script changed, changing the anime which was originally a horror into a comedy. Do you know what that anime was? Ghost Stories. The best dub of all time.
If you want something to happen, you just need to pray and not be a Muslim or Jewish.
I'm too young to die. The only person I've had sex with is my babysitter.
There's nothing to be afraid of, teacher. Monsters only get evil people like Republicans, and we're not old enough to vote.
The story behind this is apparently Studio Parrot, the studio that made the original, didn't obtain the sale numbers that they were hoping for. The studio never sent the script to the US licensor, and when they contacted Studio Parrot about this, they just told them to do whatever you can to make it sell. And now we have this wonderful improv dub. I almost want another anime to fail this badly so we can get another scenario like this. Also, don't worry, it wasn't like the original Ghost Stories was good at all. It's pretty bad. This is where I'm totally okay with all liberties being taken here. Subs versus dubs. I think this argument is really stupid. Like I said before, I think these are both different products. Having a character say something differently or sound different already changes how people can perceive a character, as well as its story. Me personally, if I like an anime enough, I just watch it both subbed and dubbed since it doesn't feel like I'm rewatching the same show. There is sub-elitists who will say you're not a true anime fan if you don't watch the original with subtitles. I mean, I would argue if that's a person's logic, then go a mile further and learn the Japanese language and become a weeb supreme. There are also dub elitists who will brush off the original because it sounds too high-pitched or they just think Japanese people sound annoying. It's about preferences. Some people want to be able to double task while watching their anime, so they choose dub. Some want more of an authentic experience, so they choose sub. Let's all just appreciate this medium together, shall we? The future of dubs. Funimation's simulcasting. I haven't seen any other company that has done this, so I mainly will be focusing on Funimation again. We live in the digital age, and people want their shit as soon as humanly possible. English dubs would usually come out for an anime like a year after its release, maybe sooner, maybe later, depending on the demand, but recently Funimation has done it really good. Now we get simulcasting, which is where the anime will air in Japan, and about 4 weeks later we'll get a dubbed episode by Funimation. Simulcasting is the future for anime dubs. If dubs want to stay relevant and grow their audiences, they need to air on the same day as the original, which amazingly the first half of My Hero Academia Season 2 did just that, until Funimation took a 2-week break. But goddammit, it is progress that we need. I see a bright future for anime dubs. People like me love this medium. Freaking hell, the Team 4-Star guys are going to be in an actual legit anime dub. Just how freaking cool is that? Dub anime used to suck, but here we are 50 years later, and dubs aren't only airing alongside the original, but for the most part, good alternatives if you don't want to read subtitles. It's amazing how much anime English dubs have evolved. Well, that's about it for this video. A few things I want to plug in real quick is go follow my Twitter. I actually post things there quite often for updates on my work, as well as some stupid, shitty memes. Follow my Instagram if you're curious about my art skills. Patreon's always there if you have the spare cash and want to support me. And that's about it. I've been Zap from Zap Arts, and I'll see you in the next one.